just throw things to the floor and scream curses. But when anime characters are angry, they take things to the next level. And by next level, I mean destroying cities, nuking towns, and hacking and slashing, and finding the best way to make a bloodbath. So, to honor these scenes, today we're going to talk about 10 of the best rage scenes in anime. We're about to see characters lose control, so be ready for some action. Number 10, Goblin Slayer Rage, Goblin Slayer.
クソくらえだ。
The Goblin Slayer was an anime with many ups and downs, but one thing we should praise is its directing and the epic portrayal of scenes like the rage of the Goblin Slayer. The Goblin Slayer managed to triumph in every fight he had with his sword and skill, but when he and his group met a larger goblin, cards were turned and soon they were at the mercy of the horde of goblins. All was about to be lost, but the Goblin Slayer got flashbacks of what the creatures had done to him and his own failure to protect what he loved and wished for. This made him go mad with rage before taking on the larger goblin alone and ended up killing it.
おい、よく見ろよ。ゴブリン。
Number 9, Shuichi and Yoshioka Rage, Gleipnir. We have an innocent boy and a squirrel girl taking a walk in the forest. What could possibly go wrong? Well, perhaps they could get attacked by a crazy child with monsters and awaken the combined powers hidden within them. See? Anime takes only a few minutes to take a peaceful stroll in the forest to a bloodbath. With all seriousness, this scene was one of the most brutal scenes of the entire anime. Both Shuichi and Yoshioka combined their feelings of hatred to create a new form that was entirely born of malice and rage. Speaking in terms of rage, that is pretty cool. The little kids soon learn that messing with adults is a bad thing. Number 8, Kamina's Rage, Gurren Lagann. You know what it's like when one single character is holding the entire fate of the show, right? In the case of Gurren Lagann, it was Kamina. This boy had the tendency to scream things about never giving up, and unlike most anime characters, he lived up to his word. So when the stakes are high, tables are turned, and the armies of Virals surround him, he doesn't hesitate to give it his all. And when Kamina gives it his all, you can sure expect a showdown. Kamina finally showed the potential humans could achieve, but sadly, unlike most rage scenes, the character doesn't come out alive. But at least be glad that Kamina went down like a hero, and it's no wonder his influence was there through the rest of the series. Number 7, Gon's Rage, Hunter x Hunter. Remember Gon? Yes, that short and cheerful boy whom you would never think could punch and kick a person to his death. But when tragedy hits you, every character shows their darker self. In the case of Gon, it was the release of an excessive amount of nin after seeing the death of Kite. This also transformed him into his adult self, someone who doesn't seem to have any of Gon's previous innocence stored within him. This is proved moments later when he kicks Pito into the sky and smashes him with an immensely powerful rock. Gon was hospitalized after his transformation due to the excessive use of nin, but let's admit it was super good to see Gon giving the beating Pito deserved, even though it was very brutal. Number 6, Shinji Rage, Neon Genesis Evangelion 2.0.
綾波よ、返せ!
Who thought the anger of one boy could destroy the world? Shinji's rage was what caused the third impact and destroyed the world. At the end of the second Evangelion movie, Shinji had run away once again due to the father's cold-hearted actions and then regretted not being able to save Rei. He was forced to kill Asuka because of his father, and seeing his second closest friend die was more than he could bear. His rage made him bond with the angel inside of Eva, and with the sole goal of bringing Rei back, he forced himself inside the angel to pull her out. His action was successful, but only to a certain extent. He manages to save Rei, but destroying half of the world in return. This scene showed how one single emotion is powerful enough to bring a massive impact on the world. Number 5, Asta Rage, Black Clover. To fight a devil, you need a devil. Asta has fought all kinds of devils and sorcerers before, but is he a match for Dante? When Dante arrived to Bull's base to find Yami, he couldn't find him. So what did he do? He decided to vent his frustration by destroying the base and making plans to have Vanessa as his mistress. But our dear old Asta isn't gonna let his home get crushed so easily. When Dante releases his devil powers, so does Asta, and the two go head on to a full duel with action, suspense, and even some logic thrown about humans every now and then. Asta pulled off his rage moment right on time, or Dante could have done much worse damage to the Bull's base. Number 4, Berserker Rage, Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel. In short, this is the scene where the angry giant punches the evil maiden. Berserker wasn't everyone's favorite servant at first, but this was the scene that managed to show us the potential of this reincarnated Hercules. As Saber Alter throws more and more of her Excalibur attacks, Berserker's anger and rage deepens and his attacks get more extreme and violent. Not to mention that he has 9 lives, so each time Saber Alter kills him, he awakens in a much more powerful form than the rest. And with each awakening, he grows more mad. We should also give credits to the amazing animation of Ufotable that combines CGI with gorgeous effects and visuals to show the true beauty of this rage scene. Once again, Berserker might have failed, but he made his impact, and that's what matters. Number 3, Levi Rage, Attack on Titan. Yes, bring back those overpowered Levi gags back again, because we're about to talk about humanity's strongest soldier. When you hear the name Levi, you already know he's up to something fierce, right? But one thing his opponent shouldn't do is make him mad. One thing that drove him to the edge was the death of Erwin Smith at the hands of the Beast Titan. Erwin was his best friend and also his indirect mentor, so his death put a heavy toll on him, and once faced with the massive Titan, he managed to slash its skin and legs apart before finally attacking his nape. Zeke Yeager, the owner of the Beast Titan, was already warned by Reiner on how powerful Levi was, and we're glad he proved that it was true. Number 2, Mob Rage, Mob Psycho, Episode 8. Next up at number 2, we have The Rage of Mob in the 8th episode of Mob Psycho. It's always a good thing not to anger an overpowered character in an anime, but Koyama, being half-brained like the rest of his goons, awakens Mob's anger and then gets the results of it. Mob and his brother had a very emotional bond, and the last thing he needed to see was his brother getting hurt. Koyama attacking his brother drives him mad, and this awakens the hidden power within him, and what results is a destructive battle that nearly destroys a whole building. The Mob Psycho anime likes to explicitly exaggerate power levels through numbers, and with this scene, it managed to solve the curiosity of us by showing what Mob was like when his power was at 100%. Number 1, Tanjiro Rage, Demon Slayer, Episode 19. Coming at the top of our list, we have the Rage of Tanjiro in Episode 19 of Demon Slayer. How can we ignore this when we're talking about recent anime rage scenes? This scene was one of the most discussed sequences in anime forums and was the reason Demon Slayer got the popularity it has now. Tanjiro feels this rage in his fight with Rui. Seeing his sister being hurt, combined with the flashbacks of his lost family, gives him the strength to defeat the demon boy with his own power. Nezuko, with her own awakening, lends Tanjiro her strength, and together, the two siblings manage to take down one of the strongest demons they ever encountered. As usual, Ufotable's mind-blowing animation and the dazzling soundtrack only added more hype to this scene. So there goes our picks for the 10 best rage scenes in anime. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be updated as soon as we release a new video. Stay safe, anime fans, and I'll see you in the next video.